song. That's right. That's right. Welcome, and I'm this game has that. You know how it goes with this goofball stuff. I'm gonna turn it down so y'all can hear me while I'm battling and doing other that. Apologize. Just for right now. Last year I did this video about Final Fantasy 15 after I played the demo, and I was really upset about the whole bullshit lack of customization and the bullshit lack of all this other stuff that happens in the game with this emo looking troop of character. And here's what I got to say about that. I was completely right about that. I knew it. There was no customization. Your character will look like this. The character Noctis looks like this through the entire fucking game. He's got boots where his rolled up pant sleeves, and I don't even get into the whole boy band thing. The coolest character of this entire troop is not that guy, is that guy right there with the tattoos. That is the DLC does that. So I was right about that. However, I was wrong about some things. And some of the things I was wrong about was the fact that I really felt like the game wasn't going to do anything of justice. I thought it was going to be another bullshit Final Fantasy title, and yet it's very good. When you first load the game up, it does state this is a Final Fantasy game for new and old alike. So it does have a lot of the old school kind of Final Fantasy feel, but it involves the Western world a lot, where the open world reminds me very much of like a Skyrim type of game or any along that lines. The open world is beautiful. It's very nice. Albeit barren. I will give a thing with Square Enix. They don't get a pass. Square Enix, you don't get a fucking pass. You can't make your open world barren and then expect people and then push the fact that it's open world. It's like that. But the game has dungeons and some exploratory stuff. I came across this ginormous creature bird that was asleep, and it was really cool to see, and it was so interesting. And I was really, here we go. The internet connection quality is currently not sufficient to broadcast gameplay. This keeps popping up, so I don't know if my videos are getting through or not. It didn't earlier, but there you have it. It's got its day-night cycle. The game is beautiful. I love the combat. I think the combat in this game is really a lot of fun and interesting because it's not some turn-based garbage that I just only certain games can get away with. I like the fact that this combines the best of Western tropes and Japanese RPG or JRPG tropes together, and they did a really good job with the game, with the side quests and its open world and its beautifulness. So I am wrong. Last year when I made a video about Final effing Fantasy, if you look up that video, how much this whole emo thing works. I'll tell you what really bothers me though is Noctis. Noctis has got this bird-like, look at this emo hair. It's all spiked to the back and bangs in the front, and he tries to be this guy from some fucking godforsaken 2001 boy band, and wearing one glove, trying to be this cool emo fuck. It doesn't work. Come on, Square Enix. That fucking style has long since been over and gone and done. And yet y'all continue to shove it down our throats, but oh well. But here's one of the things, and remember I talked about customization. Here's the thing about this game that really surprises me. So today, I was able to download the multiplayer expansion. And the multiplayer expansion, while you don't get to trope around in the open world, what I like about the game is the fact that the multiplayer expansion does two things that I love the most. Number one, and if you click stamina right before it drops, you get your whole bar back, so that's why I'm able to run indefinitely. One of the things that I like about the multiplayer expansion, and this is why I think Final Fantasy 15 kind of rocks, is the fact that you can make your own avatar and customize them how you wish. There's clothing options and all this stuff in the game, and tattoos and stuff you unlock, and then the gameplay in and of itself is pretty much a copy and paste of Monster Hunter in a lot of ways. It shares a lot of similarities with Monster Hunter, and I think that's very cool. by the way. I think that's very awesome that we actually get a Monster Hunter style um, type of game, and I love that aspect of the game. And I think that's cool that the multiplayer shares a lot of similarities with Monster Hunter, and I was able to create my own character from scratch. Hair color, just the face, the nose, the eyes, all the stuff that I have been complaining about with Final Fantasy for the longest fucking time. And for some reason it just Final Fantasy just doesn't let me have what I want. And the multiplayer expansion gives me that, and I find myself very like I think that's really good. I think it's great that they offer that offering in the expansion. And although I will say this, earlier tonight I was playing with a group of people and they just pissed me off because one of them, just one guy, some guy whose character's name is Yuna, would not go to the campfire and start the damn game. And we sat there, and no matter how many times I yelled or screamed at him, he just sat there. He was just trolling. That's what he was doing. So whoever controls a character named Yuna in the game, you, sir, can go take a fucking toilet plunger and shove it in the fucking nether regions of your fucking shitty asshole, because you're an asshole for making me wait all the three other people to wait because you act like you were playing dumb and didn't know how to ready your character. You, sir, don't deserve the fucking breath you fucking breathe. Fuck you for wasting my time. That pisses me off. But Final Fantasy 15 game than I ever thought it would be. And even though I kind of was already criticizing it before it came out, now, granted, I don't like the fact that I can't customize my character. I think that's stupid. I think it's dumb that, I get new armors and new stuff, and Noctis right here, and I've equipped a couple different things, looks no different than he does now when I started. Granted, I do have different weapons, and that's pretty cool. And I can change them on the fly like that. And I love the combat, but yet, and the weapons look different, but my character always looks the same. It goes back to what I always talk about with fucking Square Enix and their bullshit. Our characters are so badass and so perfect that we will not allow you to change the character whatsoever, because if we did that, and again, as Square Enix about 15 years ago actually stated, this destroys the integrity of the characters that we've created. No, it doesn't. You're fucking lazy. You're a bunch of lazy asses who don't want to create new assets and new stuff to make the character look different. That's exactly what the fuck is going on with this game. Although, and again, I applaud the multiplayer expansion to turning it into a Monster Hunter-like experience, and me and Monster Hunter type games. I fucking love those. That's one of my one of my most favorite genres of all time is Monster Hunter type games, because they are a mix of both action games and role-playing games. I love the idea of the harvesting thing that you can do in the game. I love that. And this game, and the multiplayer in this particular game has that. And you don't have to play online with people. You can play with the AI that's very competent, and it helps you get through, and you gotta restore power and light to the world. It takes place after the events of Final Fantasy 15, so it is story incorporated. And I think that was a really smart thing to do. And I'm very impressed with this game. I do feel like the game in itself, and I hate to say this, is very lifeless. The game world is beautiful, the towns are cool to talk to, but the overall arcing game world in and of itself is very lifeless. And like most games, just like Avalanche Studios have done and Rockstar has done and other games done, you can't make an open world where you can't even, and you have barely any if all interaction with the game world. And I find myself wondering why they did that. And I don't give them a pass, because Square Enix doesn't get a pass because of that. Because they also were involved in the publishing and partial creation of Deus Ex Human Revolution. and Mankind Divided, where you can interact with a whole lot of stuff. You can't just give me a beautiful world to run around in like I'm doing now, and there's nothing to do. You know, just go from here to here. There's nothing going on. Beautiful world, very little to do. You can't have that whole, like, we got the biggest, this biggest game ever in the Final Fantasy universe as far as like square footage is concerned, or square miles, and then turn around and fucking not let me interact with anybody, not let me, there's nobody walking around, your game world is kind of barren and lifeless, and that's a problem. But I may have been a little bit wrong about this and a little critical and overtly harsh about this game, like when last year before it came out because of the demo. Let's face facts. The demo was never indicative in any way, shape, or form of how this game was actually plays. The demo, as a matter of fact, was considered a demo slash beta. I'm gonna tell you right now, it wasn't even close to that. Like the demo had you play as Noctis as a child and all this other BS. It's ridiculous, and I really feel like that demo beta did not really do anything about the game justice. But I was a little wrong about it, because the multiplayer to me is how the game should have been. I wish they let you go out in the open world. They don't, but it plays like Monster Hunter. I love that aspect of the game. I think the multiplayer expansion is one of the best aspects of this game. I think the story is good, and spoiler alert, when Luna dies, because you meet the main villain almost like within less than an hour into the game, Ifrit, and like he has again the same stupid tropes. He should have just fucking killed you. He should have just killed you when he had a chance, but the whole time he spends all this fucking time not doing any of that at all. It's just really weird that the story mode does that, and that's really, to me, my whole kind of like problem I have with the. I'm trying to return to my car, but apparently I can't for some damn reason, even though I should be able to, or fast travel somewhere. I don't even remember where I parked the damn car. Anyway, that's all I'm trying to say, is that Final Fantasy 15, in all honesty, is an awesome game, especially now that it's $15 at GameStop. It's a great game that encompasses, if you're a fan of Final Fantasy, you like it. If you're a fan of Western RPGs, you'll like it. They really did try to create that game that is interesting and blurs the line between. Even the car stuff is actually pretty cool, and I really like the way they did the game. And so I'm very happy that at Final Fantasy 15, I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad the multiplayer lets you create your own person from scratch. There you go, Square Enix. There's a fucking novel deal. Let me create my own fucking character from scratch and play with them. Holy shit. Anyway, this has been episode 67, I believe, of talking about 15, a game that I have slowly but surely come to really respect and love. And I was wrong about last year. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Juiceman3941, and as always, gamers, good gaming.